Hey, it is Curly Shirley, and I am back with another video. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience with painting on fabric for the very first time. So, I'm obviously showing you a bit into the process, but I do want to make a quick disclaimer. I know I'd be talking about trusting the process a lot. This was definitely a difficult piece to trust the process with. I used about 4 different products or like paints. The initial thing that I started with was a spray paint. Obviously, it was fabric paint. So it was similar to paint, but not exactly. I think it had a nice sheen. It was a little bit of a, I guess, metallic or like a satin kind of finish. So it did look really nice. But one thing I would say was that it was rather messy, and it was challenging for me to get the right amount concentrated in the right spots. I have worked with spray paint before, but like I said, this is obviously a different type of paint, so it was a little bit different for me. There also wasn't a lot in the can. Like, it took me 2 cans to cover the back, and as you can see, I didn't even cover the whole back of the jean jacket. And it was a little bit hard to paint on top when I went in with this white here. So if you notice, I'm sort of going over everything again. This was probably about like my 3rd layer, and I think I had to go in for like a 4th, some places a 5th, because it was difficult to paint on top of number 1, but also I think that the fact that I was painting on like denim or jean had a lot to do with it. It was sort of just soaking in the paint, which again made it a little bit difficult, especially just the layering with all of the small spaces that I was trying to get into. But overall, it was a really fun experience. I wasn't anticipating that many layers. Like, I guess what I didn't consider is that just because I'm painting on a different surface doesn't mean that the experience will necessarily be different, or the surface that I'm painting on could really impact exactly what I am painting on. So like I said, I just needed a lot of layers. The way I was kind of thinking of it is similar to like, doing a cotton shirt with a stencil. I thought just a 1-2 kind of mark and we'll be good to go. But I just found that it made everything look kind of gray in the beginning, like as you can see at the bottom over by the chin and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of wanted to put a lot of layers so that the pigment would show. Again, I did just use a generic brand from Michaels, so that could have some impact on it. When I was shopping around for different paints, I was a little bit confused because they have a whole heap of selection. You got name brand, like generic, no name type of thing. And then you also have sort of like puffy and a few other different ones. I will link the paints that I use down below, but like I said, they were all from Michaels. So I also used another kind of paint that was like a unicorn color, not really color, unicorn-esque sparkles. Okay, it had sparkles. You can't see it very well in the video that I captured, but I did really like that because it did add a nice touch to the piece. And the good thing about that paint itself was that it dried transparent, so I was able to use it for little details like on the buttons and around the collar and kind of the cuffs of the arms and stuff like that, as well as some kind of cool splattering. The black paint. I would say the black paint is what I probably felt the most comfortable with. I did really like the bottle because it came in a bit of a spout, so you could sort of draw it on. You can see that with the writing that I put on the top, and then sort of the lines or the line work that I did, which again, like I said, it did work in my favor in terms of that. The only thing that I didn't like was that when I did use the spout, it would have a certain form at first, and then obviously it would spread a little bit. It wasn't a lot, but you can kind of see it on the crown here where I'm trying to just touch up some of the edges and stuff because the word that's coming to me is melt, like it melted. But it was very helpful in terms of making line work because it was difficult to get details with the brushes. Even though I have a lot of small brushes, I wasn't really able to find one that could pick up the paint, hold it, and help me move it around on the material in a way that would make the line work nice and cohesive. So I did have to go in and, like I said, use the spout on the black and then sort of clean it up as well with the brushes as I went. And then of course the multiple layers, because the white is lighter than the black. Another thing I'd probably note would be how much the fabric warped when I put the paint on it. Again, I'm not sure if this happened because I started with the spray paint, but that was a little bit frustrating because it was hard to make sure that I was getting the dimensions right. It was looking like perspective was a little bit off. Overall, though, it was a really fun experience. I would definitely want to try it again using more colors. And with that being said, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you next one.